Leaders of organized labor have met with President Bola Tinubu over unresolved negotiation for a new national minimum wage. The labor union, led by Joe Ajero of the Nigerian Labour Congress and Festus Osifo of the Trade Union Congress, led other executives to the meeting with the president. Deliberations will continue next week.
And Supreme Court orders local government allocations be paid directly them from the federation account, and no state governor or state houses of assembly can use state powers to dissolve any democratically elected local government and replace them with local government committees.
This is going to trend for
Yabura.
And All Farmers Association of Nigeria has said that the creation of the Livestock Development Ministry by President Bola Tinubu will bring joy to its members nationwide. The president had appointed former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Atahiru Jega, as co-chairman of the Presidential Committee on Implementation of Livestock Reforms to address the obstacles to agricultural productivity and open up new opportunities which benefit farmers, herders, processors and distributors in the livestock farming value chain.
And as part of effort to address the food crisis in the country, the federal government is sending 60 trucks of fertilizer to each state of the federation. Each of the 109 senators will also receive 2 trucks of fertilizers for distribution to farmers in their constituent, while the 360 members of the House of Representatives will get 1 truck each to distribute in their constituencies.
The Federal Ministry of Power and the United States Agency for International Development have signed a 115 billion naira memorandum of understanding to secure Nigeria's commitment to electricity sector reforms, market transparency, liquidity, and expanding access to affordable power.
A Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has announced it will impose sanctions on airlines involved in misleading departure time scheduling. The NCCA has warned airlines to desist from such infractions or face severe regulatory actions.
Well, I think it's a good move because it's really making it difficult, for people to plan their movement. But we'll see where this takes us. In business, Nigeria's average daily crude oil production rose marginally to 1.276 million barrels per day in June, says the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. This is according to data from direct communication with Nigerian authorities, which marks a rise of just 25,000 barrels per day from the 1.251 million barrels per day recorded in May.
And outside Nigeria, NATO leaders gathered in Washington for a landmark summit set to look into ways to bolster support for Ukraine in its war against Russia's aggression, as U.S. President Joe Biden strongly reaffirmed the 32-member alliance's full support of Kiev. This formed the opening address to the summit, marking NATO's 75th anniversary. Interesting. Let's see how that goes.
Well, very interesting.
And of course, we talk about minimum wage now. Talks to resolve the standoff over the national new minimum wage will continue next week. Details of Thursday's meetings were not fully disclosed, but both the federal government and organized labor seem to be in agreement about the need to continue talks ahead of a possible resolution.
President Bola Tinubu welcomes leaders of organized labor that has held the government at its jugular for foot dragging in implementing the new national minimum wage. He hopes this meeting will stave off another national shutdown and give him time to consult with the governors, local governments, and other wage-paying institutions. The federal government had proposed 62,000 naira as minimum wage, while organized labor proposed 250,000 naira. But contrary to expectations, this meeting was not to negotiate a new minimum wage. It was basically to compare notes and set the stage for another round of talks.
And the president is keeping to his promise to consult. He doesn't just want to take a unilateral decision. It's a decision that affects all of us. So he has consulted with the subnationals. Consultation with the organized private sector is ongoing. We have also seen that this consultation with the organized labor has also happened today. They have asked for a week, like I said earlier. We're going to meet with them again. Hopefully, we'll have something that all of us will agree on. in the next 1 week.
I think we are hopeful that very soon everything will be resolved. Of course, when father and children talk, you know what it is. That's just exactly what has happened, and it took us almost like an hour. And I believe that it's all for good.
The leaders of organized labor are rather optimistic about the potential of holding talks with the president, but they also clearly say their insistence on 250,000 naira as national minimum wage has not changed. Neither has the government proposed a new offer.
It wasn't a negotiation, it was a discussion. We have had that discussion, and we agreed to look at the real terms, probably convene the next 1 week. So that's where we are.
We've had all the conversations with all his agents, but today we said that let's meet with the father of the country and have this conversation and make the argument that Labour normally make. You know, Labour, we went in there, we made all the arguments, economic analysis, macro, micro, fiscal, and monetary issues. So we put everything forward, and at the end, the president also made his remark.
The meeting between organized labor and President Tinubu will reconvene next week. It remains to be seen who will shift grounds as organized labor and the federal government stick together.
The federal government has approved a special purpose vehicle to support